Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of year. Teachers are feverishly trying to get through with their content, trying to make sure their kids are ready for the North Carolina end of grade test in elementary and middle school and the North Carolina end of course test in high school. But what if I told you one test could label a child or an entire school in North Carolina, in Cumberland County? That's exactly what's happening. In our elementary and middle schools, they take the North Carolina end of grade test in reading, math, and science. And in high school, they take the North Carolina end of course test in English 2, Math 1, Math 3, and biology. Students are categorized based upon how they do on those tests or how they're projected to do based upon an algorithm on those tests into 5 categories. Level 1, level 2 is considered not proficient. Level 3, level 4, level 5 means that you are at grade level, above grade level, or significantly a brilliant kid and you're going to be great, level 5. Level 1 and level 2 is where everybody gets concerned about because that's considered not proficient. Does that mean that a kid can't do math and can't understand science and the world around them and read? No, it absolutely does not mean that. But it's just that's the criteria and the cutoff score that they've created to categorize kids. From level 1, level 2 is not proficient to 3, 4, and 5, you are proficient. That label follows the kid from one year to the next, one course to the next. They're categorized. It can impact their confidence, their expectations, how others see their ability. Even when they're making real progress and showing growth, they've done better than the previous year on this year's test or projected to do so, but they're just still not seen that way. That's a huge problem that we're dealing with in our schools with testing. That's the first problem. Problem 2 is the North Carolina school report card and how schools are labeled failing or not failing. So you're labeled failing if you're a D or an F school, and even if you've gotten growth, but you don't have a certain level number of kids that are level 3, 4, or 5, well, then your teachers just haven't done anything all year, and we need to take a look at what's going on there. What people don't really understand is that assessment, 80% out of the 100% that's used to figure out the report card for the school is based upon how well a kid did on the test. 20% is did they show significant academic improvement from one test to the next test, from one school year to the next school year. 20% is based upon growth, but 80% is based upon the academic achievement. That's for North Carolina end of grade test and end of course test. But to go along with those end of course tests in high schools are also having to be held accountable for graduation rate, how well a kid does on the ACT. They may not even be going to college, but still going to take the ACT work keys. I'm not going to go work in the professional world. I'm going to college. Still got to take the ACT work keys. Got to see if they can do certain things with that information that's been given to them. Attendance, there's a whole math course rigor. There's lots of little caveats that is compiled into the North Carolina report card that then comes out with these scores and these grades. That's a huge problem because why? All people see is A, B, C, D, or an F and then reflect upon their academic journey and they understand what it means to be an ABC student or an A honor roll or B. But D's and F's, totally unacceptable. We're not having that in this house. Even if your kid goes to a school that's considered a D or F school, not going to have it. We're going to pull them out. We're going somewhere else. That's a failing school. Bad stuff's going on here. It's not true. All because of a test. There's lots of great things happening in our schools across the county. But again, that's a huge problem is the school report card and how it's broke down. The last problem that I see is just the pressures that it's putting on teaching and learning in the classroom. what is this leading to? What has it led to for 30 years? It has literally sapped the life out of effective teachers because of the silly test that has to be given every year. Teachers stress out about it. They stress the kids out about it. It creates stress and anxiety in the classroom. Teachers are feverishly trying to get to the end of the curriculum. It's like, get on or get off. You either can figure it out or you can't figure it out, but I got to move on whether you get it or you don't get it. And then you come after school and get tutoring, and then the kids can't come after school for tutoring. And it just creates this big mess that we find ourselves in. It's also taking the creativity out of school, critical thinking out of the classroom. There's so much focus on test prep and finding the latest test prep program that millions of dollars are spent every single year by Cumberland County Schools to find the latest, greatest test prep program that's going to ensure that our kids are going to do well on the EOC and EOGs. Get a level 3, 4, or 5 because we got to get those level 1s and 2s out. The stakes are high. That's a huge problem. It shouldn't be this way. It has literally driven people out of the profession because of high stakes testing. So I leave you with this. Are we really measuring learning? Or are we just measuring how well a kid can take a test? I'd love to hear your thoughts and your comments. Put them in the chat for me. Stressful time of year for everyone. Hang in there, folks. Thanks for watching the video, and have a great rest of your day.